Hello, I'm Laura Greco, and I want to welcome you and thank you for stopping by. I am the founder of Art of Soulful Parenting, Full Life Wellness, as well as your podcast at Superpower Mamas. And today our topic is moving through the hard stuff with the help of art. So, what has art got to do with the hard stuff? Well, that's what we're going to explore. But before we even get going, I'm going to ask you this. What does art represent for you? If you want to take a pause to this video and just jot down some words, that might be helpful as you listen in on the conversation. So what does art mean to you? Well, I'm going to give you a list that I came up with. I wrote down it's opening, it's unlocking, it's expression, it's variety, it's color in our view and color in our hearing. It's stimulus, it's color in our feeling, it's skills, it's innovative, it's curious, it's experimental, it's creative, represents practicing and honing skills, it represents wonder and possibility. And above all, it's the ability to see and to create and to love in beauty and to be able to discover the beauty in all things. How's your list going? Did you add to mine? I hope so. And I hope you leave some comments below as to some words you may have thought of. You know, I have to tell you that my heart is feeling a little heavy today. And the reason is because I have several people who I love very much who are going through loss, potential loss, fear, and and it's hard to know that about people that we care about so much. And so I just want to honor myself by mentioning that, and honor you by mentioning that that might be the case with you also, as you are watching this video, or perhaps you're experiencing your own loss or pain. And we want to honor that. It's real and it's true and it's happening. But moving through the hard stuff with the idea of art is so beautiful, right? I use the words art of soulful parenting so much, art of soulful living, art of loving, right? When we think of that word art, and that's where I want to take this a little deeper, is we think of love or living or parenting in art. If we could apply the words we came up with to those aspects of our life, we can see how art can have a richer meaning and enrich our experiences in life. It will also mean that we feel more deeply and that we will sometimes be stretched and challenged to see beyond the obvious, or what's obvious to us, to look a little deeper, to see the art within the chaos or the mess or the feelings of unsafety, right? I was asked a bit ago to explore my own journey and, what brought me to where I am today. Like, what was that pivotal point? And so I ask you that too. Like, what's the pivotal point for you in your life that has you on the path you're on? Because if you're watching this video, there is some part of you that is looking for exploration and for answers. As I was contemplating that, I'm like, oh my gosh, my whole life was full of these kinds of experiences. But what I did was I went back to the very first one, which actually is the pivotal one, because that's the one that got me on the path to continue to make the transformations as they arrived and as I was able to take them in. And what I discovered was that I needed to be groomed, and I wanted things in life. I wanted to feel love and compassion, and I wanted to matter to a community. I wanted um, to express the love that I so deeply actually needed for myself. Um, I wanted to experience life, but I had a lot to overcome. A lot of deep-seated, challenging grooming and and cultured um, um, ingrained belief systems that needed to be worked through. Um, so this is true for all of us, I am sure. I am not alone on this path. And so when we think of parenting and the hard decisions, which we do have right now in 2020, they're more prevalent. They're more, they feel bigger than they've ever felt before. You know, before we were kind of running in the everyday routines and feeling exhausted from that. Well, now we're faced with like, okay, what do we do? We have to make decisions here. We're no longer in the rut of moving. So one example that comes to mind is the conversations I've had with moms about going back to school, not knowing, not feeling safe, and yet homeschooling. Is it enough for my children? Are my children safe? Am I safe? Am I providing all that they need? Do I have the capabilities? Am I capable? Right? So many things, so many questions on the table, so many, right? And yet we've been actually moving through this all along. It's just that we're in this place now where art can really be a great big help to us, because art reminds us that we're in experimentation and curiosity and opportunity to hone and to practice and to model for our children how to move through these tough decisions. And so, above all else, we want to remember the motivation of tough decisions. Like, where do we basically want, what's the center point, the touchstone, right? It's our values. And where do our values stem from? They stem from love, right? So the more, no matter what your belief system is, no matter what you lean into in a spiritual sense or in a secular sense, like when we look at what feels within ourselves right, it always goes back to love. And the art of loving, is that not what are here doing, is practicing and honing our skills in that area? And is that not what our world is transforming into more fully? You know, I was listening to a lecture yesterday of Bernie Siegel. He was a surgeon. He worked in pediatrics in the cancer units while he was practicing. Now he is more in the conscious world, conscious training world, and he is humorous and real, and his exposure to life and death has given him perspective that is very interesting and very healing, actually. On his website, because I went to see what he has going on there, and I saw this quote. He says, "I believe that we are here to contribute love to the planet, each of us in our own way." Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. So, is there a right and wrong? Well, not if your touchstone is that high vibration, energetic love, right? The love that is beyond, as I talked about in my other video about the different forms of love, or the different words for love. If you haven't seen that, you can go back and look at that. I think what I want to the message I want to give to you is that there is a safety in yourself. You are capable and resilient. And if you can take the time to like quiet down the noise and tune in. I've had challenges where I've had to make decisions that were hard and unpopular in my life and in my parenting. However, taking the time to sit with it and to be with it and to be open to the possibility of experimentation and weigh that out and then go for it and make your adjustments along the way, knowing that you are resilient all along the way, that is developing the art of living and the art of loving and being willing to be vulnerable and compassionate with yourself, with your children, with the world, really. And as we do that, and we're not looking necessarily for perfection, but we're looking for instead love and and art, right? Art of living and learning along the way. If we're open to that, we're going to find a lot more ease in our living. We could view life as art instead of hassle. If we could do that, we would be much happier. And so would the whole earth, wouldn't it? So, my admonition to you this week is to discover where you can create more art into your life and into your living and into your decisions. It's another way of creating playfulness, lightening the mood, and giving you an opportunity to make the hard decisions from a place of creativity rather than a place of restriction and feeling unsafe. When you open up, the sun shines in, the love shines down, and you have the opportunity to grow. Because on the other side of fear is growth. So that is my admonition for you. Want to have a conversation? Want to look into how you can transform the old patterns and blocks that are challenging you? I'm going to leave a link below. Send me a comment in the link below. There's a place for that. You can also schedule a consultation with me. It's free. And yeah, it's my gift. It's my gift because I want you to succeed. So let's have a conversation and see what magic you have going on and where you would like to hone those skills. It's never, no matter whether it's me or anyone else, it's always wonderful to look for the help where you need it. So, and it'll get you on your way to the next thing, right? I love you. I love you and I honor you. And again, like what's dear into my heart, if you're experiencing loss or pain, or you're someone that I love, and you're listening to this also, and you know me personally, I send out my love, and I love you all. So be good to one another. Big hugs and love each other. Till next time.